definitely get every element hits right where you would want it to.
Still, there's a good acidity, good tannin, no?
Yep.
This is like really baby Super Tuscan.
Baby Super
Gives
Tuscan.
you the chance to say this kind of composition of grapes, which is a good idea of what a grape composition could be of the Super Tuscan. You have a chance to taste it here at a different price point, much less tannin, a bit, cooled down so that you can drink it right now. It gives you a feel for what the Super Tuscan have to offer. Now, Super Tuscan, big body, stronger.
Because it's not a broad-shouldered wine necessarily. It's not overly masculine. What it reminds me of is the wine equivalent of when you have a piece of a steak or a burger that's cooked somewhere between medium and medium rare.
Yeah,
Just in that perfect sweet spot.
Yeah.
Where it satisfies the people who want something fully made, and at the same time, there's a certain wildness to it because of its complexity. But it's not overly complex. It's not unnecessarily complex.
You said it right there.
Right.
It really is, grapes that don't make it to Solengo, gets an NC. It gets the best barrique, which is first been used for Solengo, then goes to NC. So it's really a spoiled child, actually. That's probably why it comes out so well.
I had no idea that it had that close a relationship with the Solengo.
Yeah.
I think that's great. I have to tell you, folks, that NC is one of the great wine values on the planet. No question about it. What would you serve with that?
A lot of meats.
Yeah, a lot of meats. But anything.
A lot of red meats.
Yeah, anything really. I mean, anything from under the sun. I mean, tri-tip or a porterhouse or a big nice burger. I mean, this is a kind of when you go to a dressy barbecue. Like dressy casual kind of event. That's the kind of wine that you bring. It's a Friday night wine.
Everyone is going to be happy about this wine.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a wine that impresses. It's dressed to impress.
It is.
No question about it. Dressy casual. Would you call it that?
Yes, I would. Yes. That's a good way of saying it. I haven't thought about that, but I'll, keep that in mind. Dressy casual. Yeah,
dressy casual. Dressy
so
casual.
You are dressy casual, my dear.
NC. Nobody calls it a non-confonator either. They all call it the NC, right?
Some do actually, but NC is perhaps a bit, easier. I don't know.
I'm really looking forward to the bottle that I have sitting on my counter this Friday evening.
Yeah.
With a nice movie late at night. We are going to move on to NC's big sister, one of the giants of the Super Tuscan arena. Solengo has been made since
95.
It's always scoring big, huge, fat points. Great, highly critically acclaimed. Wonderful. Black in the glass.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It has some color.
So we have the 08 on the NC and the 05 on the Solengo.
Yep.
And the 05 has just been released.
It's been, more or less, it's a year or so.
Yeah. This is a wine for the cellar, even now. I mean,
Even now.
Yeah. Much more in the territory of broad-shouldered. This is a monster, like collectible.
Yeah.
And what's the components of the Solengo?
Around 45% cab, then Merlot like 20% and 25% Shiraz, or 30 Merlot, 25% Shiraz.
No Sangiovese.
No Sangiovese.
See, the Sangiovese would detract from maybe.
Make it perhaps a bit lighter.
Lighter, exactly. Make it more playful, and that's not the direction that Solengo wants to be in. That's not the territory. And tell me about where the components for Solengo. Where exactly? What area are they grown? They're estate fruit.
They're estate fruit. It's actually fairly. You see the estate right here. That's the building.
Mm-hmm.
So the estate is just running one long stretch like this of land,
Mm-hmm.
of 130 acres, and Solengo is a bit everywhere. We have a few vineyards that are 100% Sangiovese and this and that, but then we have some that are, free lines or free rows of Cabernet, 3 rows of Merlot, etc., etc. So Solengo is actually picked from the best spots. And sometimes we're vinifying during the cellar and something works out, much better than expected. We might have expected to put it in NC, but it goes for Solengo instead, and vice versa. So it's picked a bit everywhere for the best spots. We've been working a long time with Cabernet, with Merlot, etc. And now we're kind of at that stage where we found the right spots for those grapes.
And how much oaking on the Solengo?
16 months usually, new oak.
And then 2 years before release?
Approximately. We bottled it around half a year before.
Okay.
Half year, most probably.
Wow, this is, I mean, you can't even see your hand through this wine, folks. This is opaque.
It's
This is massive. And it just dawned on me that with making the Salengo with your Cab and your Merlot and your Syrah, and having the Suolo with the Sangiovese, you have a place for all of your top tier grapes and for the other Sangiovese that you grow, and the non-confundador gets everything else.
Yeah.
And they're all great, folks. I have to tell you.
Everything under the same umbrella.
Right.
Really proving what you can do in this small stretch of 110 acres that we have. We do everything we can to the best possible. No.
Well, Wines.com has been very honored to have Anne-Louise Mikkelson from Argiano in Tuscany join us, tasting us through her Sangiovese Grosso and her Super Tuscans. Anything that you'd like to add?
Oh, rosé.
I'm sorry? There is in fact a rosé, which I tasted before, and it was delicious. Very strawberry, very bright.
Just to give you a hint that we had this fun little project 1 year ago, and we decided to make a rosé.
Argiano's low.
Yeah, just 3,000 bottles made a year.
Small
Good
production
stuff.
rosé, absolutely gorgeous, bright. Not a bad wine in the bunch. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Wines.com, Argiano.